I've been freaking out about time a lot. Like, how much time do I have to do this? When I wake up, I think about the things I have to do, and then I automatically go into stress mode. I freak out, I get crazy, I get insane, I don't know what to do with my hands, I'll just not want to show up at all, I procrastinate, and then I end up at the end of the day feeling completely self-destructed, completely angry with myself, full of resentment, and overall just wanting to slap myself over the head. And I feel like a lot of people have been feeling like that too. I feel like it's really hard when you get to your 20s, and a lot of people feel like it's supposed to be your best years of your life, but it just turns out to be a struggle street thing. Like, it feels like every month it's like that one meme where you just don't catch a break.
Hey, Cartman.
Stop! It's all gone! They've taken it all! Why are they doing this?
And it just feels very violating every single time, and humiliating and humbling. And a lot of people think that, as soon as they get into uni, and then, as soon as you get going with your life, then you're going to feel like you're doing something, you're going to feel like you're moving parts in the right order. I feel like uni has been this thing, especially in Australia's eyes, as something that is going to be very exciting, because you get schoolies just right before. I didn't go to schoolies just before. And then you get this excitement of freedom and prosperity, and oh my god, I'm actually going to start my life at this point. And then you get to uni, and then it's like work. You barely interact with people, in Australia at least. And then you go home, and then you work whenever you're free, and then you don't have any free time, and then you just find yourself, when you do have free time, either scrolling or you're in your room alone, and you're like, is this all my life will be? I'm not doing enough. I'm 22 years old, and I should be doing I should be doing more. And then you find yourself in this really weird limbo stage where you are upset at yourself if you are resting and you're laying down and you're not doing anything, and you are getting mad at yourself in your head, and you're stressing, and you're pushing yourself over the edge with frustration, thinking about, oh, you should be doing this and that. We're in our 20s, we're gonna regret this, wasting our time in the bed, and our youth is slipping away, we're running out of time, you only get this amount of hours throughout the day, you gotta go now. And then you get the other point. You're doing something, and you keep going, and then you feel yourself exhausting yourself emotionally, socially, and physically, in every kind of way, that you kind of just end up staring off for a couple minutes, and doing things, just speeding things up and doing things really quickly. But also, since you're speeding up and you're doing things quickly and you're rushing, you're making more mistakes, and that's more humbling, because then now you're just having to start off again. Or if someone's watching you, if you're at work and you're doing that, oh my god, it's so fucking, oh my god, it's embarrassing. You want to just look cool when you're doing something quickly, because you're like, okay, I'm taskmastering this shit, I'm fucking multitasking, bitch, I got this, and then you don't got this. you really don't got anything. It's really humbling, honestly, and it's isolating. I feel that a lot within myself. I don't even go to uni, and that's one of the things that pushes me into that anger towards myself, and pushes me into fury towards myself, because I'm like, oh, I don't even go to uni, and I can't even upload this and that. I'm at work, and I get a moment where I'm standing and I've done my tasks, and all I have to do is wait for the next task, and I'll be there for 5 minutes. In your head, you try to do whatever you can with the time that you have free. In your head, you go through a list of things that you need to do, or you start making plans with what you should do after work, or what you should do in the week. And then when you do feel like you are doing things wrong, or you're not doing enough, you overtly plan throughout the week. But then when you look at your plan later, you're like, wow, this doesn't have any breaks in it. Like, it's just boom, 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 boom. Like, I got into this hyperfixation point where I was like, I gotta get my money up. I gotta get going. I gotta get my social interaction of the week. And then you just end up overwhelming your schedule to a point where you don't like have any space to breathe. It's like when you are like planning for holidays for the first time and you don't like have like any rest days in between because you're like, oh, I'm gonna be in a different country. I'm gonna not want to take a break. Are you kidding me? I only can do this once. My time is limited. And then you just end up hating your trip because you don't get any rest. You don't get any rest or relaxation. You're not being nice to yourself at all. A lot of people are doing that now because there's this fear that you do not have enough time. And we don't really. It's because I guess it's something that covers everyone because it is kind of true in a way. Like all these like things that we say to each other is like half truths. Yeah, I don't have enough time during the day. I'm gonna die one day. My youth is gonna slip away, and you know, I need to evaluate everything I'm doing because this could be something I look back on and regret it. Those are all valid, but I think it's put so negatively and so hypercritically on yourself that you end up just damaging yourself with like these ideals or like these expectations that you strangle yourself into thinking that it's life or death constantly when you're just living. And then you're not really living because you are thinking, okay, my mind has to be busy all the time because in order to get everything and make sure that I'm covered on all bases, I have to be thinking about the future. And I also have to be thinking about what I've been doing in the past that has put me in this point where it's like stunted me or something that's really, you know, like maybe like it was like a traumatic situation, like a breakup, or maybe it was your family or anything in between that. You're like, I don't want to repeat this mistake again. I don't want this to happen to my life again. I don't want to experience that pain again because I don't want to be wasting my youth having to re-go over this thing again, over. And then like, but also, I was with my therapist and I was talking to him about like, oh, I need to do this and I need to fix this and I need to fix this about myself and I need to fix this about myself. And, I was talking to him about like all these like things. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not doing good in this and this and this and this and this. And he's like, do you always have to fix yourself? Like, do you always have to do that? And I'm like, oh wow, fuck you, because it's like it's the truth. It's the truth, and it's uncomfortable because it's really hard with balancing things out. And this is and this is what I think. This is the period of your life where you start balancing things out in a healthy way. But you have to witness all the terrible, unhappy things about doing something too much or not doing something enough, not going to gym enough, and then your body deteriorates. But maybe going to gym too much, and then your body deteriorates. Going too hard and trying to find love, and then feeling less loved for it. And then maybe putting yourself too much in a relationship and then feeling unlovable for that. Or maybe you're like overextending your hand too much for people and then it like eats you alive. But then with certain friendships, you start pulling back existentially for no reason because you're afraid that's going to happen to you. Like it's all about balancing within the 20s. Like it's not going to fucking, like, of course you're going to waste time. And I feel like throughout the day, I get so in my head about how much do I need to do? How much do I need to show up for this, and that? I remember I was at my sister's house the other day and I was freaking out. And I was like, oh my God, I haven't found love and I haven't reached my goals yet. And I'm 22 and I see other celebrities that do this and I don't understand when I will ever get relief and I'm like, and it goes on and on and on and on. Silly. It sounds silly what she's going to say, but years and months and weeks are like a social construct, you know? It's a social construct that we build to have structure in ourselves. And it's now leveled up to an expectation thing that you have. So I feel like you should feel comfortable that there's no such thing as like years or weeks or months, because you're only living right now. You're alive right now. And yeah, it's good to know like your roster for the week, because sometimes I took that kind of literally for a bit, and like I was like, oh, I don't have anything. But I feel like what her underlining thing was, you should just take it in the moment, day by day, and like learn to balance things out from there. And that actually made me feel a lot better. I get dreams about like being late to work, or like getting fired from work, or like being too early to work, and like all about time. It's all about time, like deficits things. Like I'll have a dream that I'm late to work, and then I'll wake up like 3 hours earlier and make sure that I'm ready well before, and I'll get there like 40 minutes early just to make sure that I'm there. I'm clocked on. Like some people have like social events or maybe work in the afternoon. Some people like me will over fixate about how they have to conserve energy up until that point, so they don't do anything throughout the day, and then they freak out about what time they have to get there, and they like hold it in their head. Like I don't know how to explain it properly. Like it's it's open in my head all day, and it's like flashing like red all day, like being like, be aware at 4:30 you have to meet this person at this destination. So it just clouds your head all day and makes you unable to focus about anything except that. Or maybe like at night, you're trying to go to sleep, or like you're like, oh, I want to stay on TikTok for like 10 more minutes or something, whatever. It's never 10 minutes, honestly. You can say that it's 10 minutes, but we both know you're lying. You're lying. But then like you estimate the amount of time that you need to actually sleep, and then it makes you more like angry and sad and depressed, and maybe even makes you stay up for longer. And then like I feel like there's so much stress and expectation and pressure into time, and we're so aware of it sometimes that it clouds every aspect of our being and makes us literally stop in our tracks and not wanting to do anything, because it feels so daunting and pressuring. Like I have to do this at this specific time. I have to think about how many hours I can get in. I have to do. Like it's so exhausting a lot of the times, and we are exhausting ourselves. Anyways, by putting it to, there's no years or hours or whatever, and you're just living right now, I feel like that makes me a little more settled, because I don't have to think about how many hours I'm gonna have to get and what time I have to leave for work. I just think, oh, I shouldn't think about it up until like 10 o'clock when I'm like on my phone and I look at it. I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably get to sleep. It's so much more better to think surface layer, like even if you are an overthinker or you're a deep intrinsic person. I'm not saying you can just turn it off, but I think as a collective, it's really hard to stop just putting so much pressure on yourself in tasks. But I feel like slowly alleviating it and just keeping yourself in the moment is also incredibly hard. So it's just like what's helped me was that just keeping myself in compassion, because I also think that like people think by pushing yourself to your breaking point, or like putting like hypercritical self nature onto yourself, or like being in a I need to fix myself all the time, is good, because you think that you're improving and you're like striving to become better. But I have found it being incredibly disruptive and destructive, because it's like, yeah, you should feel accountable and you should hold that to yourself too, but where's the line you're drawing for yourself? It sounds like you're just being so negative and hypercritical and saying you're doing something wrong all the time, when you're just existing, being overtly harsh on yourself, being like, I should have done this, or I should have done this, or I was 5 minutes late to this, and it's fucking human. Like I feel like we forget that we only have that time throughout the day, and that's something we can't control, and we can't control also our human functions that come with it. We have to go to the toilet, we have to pee and poo, we gotta eat and stuff, and we kind of put the pressure on ourselves, being like, how dare we not reach that point when it's an inhuman point to reach. Like, you're asking yourself not to like just put all your essential stuff that you need to get done throughout the day aside just to do those things that you want to achieve that are like inhuman to do today. Like, it's like asking the AI to do it, and they're doing it perfectly because they are AI and they don't have like core human functions, you know? I realized recently haven't been going to gym a lot. And every time I want to go to gym, I think about the time, and then I freak out and I feel pressure about it, that I'm like, oh, I only have like 2 hours that I have free until I go to work. So I have to do it within that time now. You have to go now. What, you're being dumb. Da, 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 da. And then you put so much pressure on yourself, you just don't want to do it. And then you procrastinate, and then you feel more shitty about yourself because you don't do it. I find if I just, let myself have the time I need to rest, and I don't put that like too much pressure on myself, I'm like, okay, if I have time, I would like to do that, and I would like to be more awake in my head. So I'll like stop scrolling, because a lot of the time I can't think rationally, or I can't hear my intentions or what I want to do, or that compassionate voice, without turning off the thing for a second, just to sit there in silence and think and be like, okay, do I want to do that today? Do I have enough time? If I can do it, I can still show up, and I don't have to think about time. And then I'm nice to myself, and I give myself that time that I need to decompress and rest. And then I do the thing that I want. And then so like the other day, I just stopped. I decompressed. I let myself get off of it for a second. And then I felt ready to go to gym. And I felt really happy because I went to gym. And I haven't been to gym properly in like 4 weeks. And I was getting really in my head about it and really mean to myself about it. I feel like a lot of the times people think that's going to motivate you because you're being critical and you're like pointing out the flaw. But there's to a point, pointing out the flaw and having nothing else just doesn't help. It doesn't help, because it's like, okay, I see it's there, and you're telling me I need to get up, but there's like no motivation for me to actually get up. So I finally went to gym the other day because I did those things and I was compassionate to myself. And yeah, I just think allow ourselves to lay with ourselves silently. And that's so scary, because I'm so scared of the silence, because that means I'm not doing something, and it means I'm not going somewhere, in my head at least. But if I'm not doing something for a second, it lets me touch down to the ground and the gravity of the things, and then I can ask myself and hear myself clearly, and then I can start doing the things I want. Anyways, I just wanted to get on that. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I've been very low energy recently, but I'll pick it up eventually. But I really appreciate you guys so much. And I'm very excited for when we hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm thinking of a special, but I'll think more about it later. But I really appreciate you guys a lot. And I hope this helps, Okay, guys. See you in the next video. If you guys like butter, subscribe. Okay, bye.